over graphing linear equations. Remember, we have slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. Slope is rise over run. Y-intercept is where the line intersects the y-axis. You can plug 0 in for x and solve for y. And then the x-intercept is where the line intersects the x-axis. You plug 0 in for y and solve for x. First off, we're just going to find the x and y-intercepts of these two problems. The first problem is 13x plus 2y equals negative 26. I need to find the x-intercept, so I need to plug 0 in for y. So I'm going to have 13x plus 2 times 0 equals negative 26. 2 times 0 is 0, so I have 13x equals negative 26. Divide both sides by 13 to get x by itself. X is going to equal negative 2. So I'd write it as negative 2, 0. Now, when I want to solve for my y-intercept, I plug 0 in for x, and I have 13 times 0 plus 2y equals negative 26. 13 times 0 is just 0, so I have 2y equals a negative 26. Divide both sides by 2, I get y equals negative 13. I would write that as 0, negative 13. So I want you to go ahead and pause this video and work out, find the x and y intercepts of y equals negative 2x plus 1. All right, now that you found those intercepts, we're going to go ahead and go over it so you can check your answer. First off, let's find the x-intercept. So I'm going to plug 0 in for y. 0 equals negative 2x plus 1. I'm solving for x. So I have to subtract 1 from both sides. So I have negative 1 equals negative 2x. Divide both sides by negative 2. 1/2 equals x. So of course I'd write that as 1/2, 0. To find the y-intercept, I'm going to plug 0 in for x. So I'm going to have y equals negative 2 times 0 plus 1. Let me write that a little bit different. There we go. 2 times 0 is 0, so y equals 1. So 0. Now we're going to use our linear equations in order to graph a line. So first off, I have y equals 2x minus 3. It's starting in slope-intercept form, so I can just solve right away. What is my slope? Remember, my slope is rise over run. It's the rate of change, how fast the line is moving. And it's the number directly in front of the x. So it's 2. And I'm going to put it over 1 so I find myself that I have to run. And then my b is my constant, which is negative 3. So I need to start, remember I have my y-axis and my x. I'm always going to start at my y-intercept at my b. So I'm going to go to negative 3, I'm going to put it up. My slope is 2 over 1, so it's positive, so I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 1. And I'm going to do that several times just so that way I can get a good line. If I go back to my starting point, if I go down 2, then I have to go to the left 1. And then I'm able to hopefully draw a straight line. Better, I could just do a line. There we go. It's good for you. All right, so let's graph this one. Y equals negative 3x plus 2. Again, my slope is negative 3. My y-intercept is 2. So I'm going to start at the 2 on the y-axis, go down 3, and to the right 1, because it's negative, so if I go down, I have to go to the right. I go down 3, and to the right 1. I go back to my starting point, I'm going to go up 3, and to the left 1. And then I just connect my dots. And of course, you want to make sure you have your arrows that go through. Now I have a situation here. I can solve for y, or I can, in order to find, or I can use the x and y intercept. Because I have 6x plus 24 equals negative 12y, y is already on one side of the equal sign. I'm going to go ahead and just solve for y. So I need to get y all by itself. Negative 12 is being multiplied by y, so I'm going to divide everything by negative 12. 6 divided by negative 12 is negative 1 over 2x. 24 divided by negative 12 is negative 2 equals 1. So now I'm able to graph this. My slope is going to be negative 1 over 2. And my y-intercept, my b, is a constant, which is negative 2. So I'm going to start with negative 2. My slope is negative 1 over 2. So if I go up, I'm going to go to the left 2. It's important to do these several times so you're able to have a really good straight line. Also important to use a straight edge. If I go down 1, I'm going to go to the right 2. And then I'm going to have a straight line. Of course, don't forget your arrows. Go ahead and pause this one and solve it, and then we will go over it. All right, now that you solved it, let's check. First thing I'm going to do is I need to get rid of this 2x. So I'm going to subtract both sides by negative 2x. Negative y equals negative 2x plus 4. Divide both sides, everything by negative 1. I have y equals 2x minus 4. So again, I'm going to start with my negative 4. Go up 2 to the right 1. And then draw my straight line, just like that. All right, so now we have a little bit, this is going to be our last one. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to solve this. The first way is to find the x and y intercepts. Then I'm going to show you how to solve for y. Actually, I'll show you how to solve for y first, and then I'll show you the x and y intercepts. So the first thing I'm going to do is just solve for y. How do I get y all by itself? So I put my wall. I notice that the x is on the left side with the y, so I need to get rid of the 8x. Nothing's in front of it, so that means add. So I'm going to subtract both sides by 8x. 8x minus 8x cancels out. I have negative 4y equals negative 8x is, and 16, you can't combine them. They're not like terms. So I always like to put the negative 8x first, but you can put 16 minus 8x. That's fine. Now I have to still get y all by itself, so I'm going to divide everything by negative 4. Give me y equals 2x minus 4. So my slope would be 2, and my y-intercept would be negative 4. So I'm going to start at negative 4, go up 2 over 1, 2 over 1, and I go up and to the right because it's a positive. So then I'm going to graph this. Actually, I can change the color. There we go. So that's the first way to do it. The second way is you can actually find your x and y intercepts and graph your intercepts. So we'll do that in purple. So I'm going to find my x-intercept. My apologies there. So I'm going to have 8x minus 4 times 0 equals 16. 8x equals 16. Divide both sides by 8. X equals 2. So I'm going to have 2, 0. And for my y-intercept, let me just draw a line right there. I'm going to have 8 times 0 minus 4y equals 16. Negative 4y equals 16. Divide both sides by -4. Y equals -4. So I have 0, -4. Now I just plot those 2 points. So 2, 0 is going to be right there. And 0, -4 is right there. Then I can just draw my line. Let me change that to purple. Closest thing I have, purple. And as you can see, it's the same exact line. So you can do either one. It's completely up to you. Hopefully this helps with graphing linear equations.